Unleash your ideas. Like and subscribe. Unleash your ideas. Like and subscribe. Yeah, yeah. Got a spark in your soul, time to set it free. From your heart to the world.
Hey, we are in the house tonight. Let me bring my mic up a little bit closer. Hey guys, we are in the house tonight. How you feeling? D. Williams here. This is your first time here, streaming live tonight. I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn. I think my Facebook account is down. I'm not going to tell you a story. So if you're looking for me on Facebook, good luck with that. I hope y'all are doing phenomenal. I am back in the mix again this week. I have, y'all know I have been dealing with like my health issues, been up and down lately. And I don't like that version of me. But I am here and I'm showing up because I am really dedicated to this 90-day lock-in. So I'm pushing as much as I can. And I'm hoping that you're doing the same exact thing too. And we're going to get into some really cool stuff tonight. You already know I've got things to share. And I'm really excited to have you here. We've been locking in for the last 40 days. It's been 40 days and we're somewhere roughly around there, but we're on a 90-day lock-in to level up, to show up as a new version of ourselves 90 days from now, doing something different, right? Showing up as a better version in whatever way that is to you, right? That's where we are. And that's what our goal is for the next 90 days. That's what we're doing. So every day you should be doing something in your life that is pushing you towards the next version of yourself, period. Okay. So if you are watching online, I would love to know exactly where you're chiming in from. You already know. I want to know who's here hanging out with me. And tonight we're going to be talking about leveling up, right? Because that's what that 90-day lock-in is about. It's about leveling up. And we're leveling up in so many different ways. I wrote this e-guide, this book for you all. It's called Fck Being Broke. That's the name of the book. And if you're online, you should be able to see the link in the description for you to go in and download your free copy. But it's a little book there I wanted to share with you. And it's called Fck Being Broke because a lot of times I connect with people. I'm a business coach. I'm a consultant. And so people come to me and they tell me, you know, I want to start a business. I want to take control of my life and all of these different things, but they don't have any money. And I totally get it. But I let them know that being broke is not just about what you have in your pocket, but it's about a mindset, right? It's about you showing up as this person mentally, physically, emotionally, all of those things. And then financially, you know, you'll be able to see that. And so this book was really written in a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. So I'm hoping that you have an opportunity to take a look at the book and download it and so forth. But in there, I share some really cool things. And some of the things that I share in there is information on how you can take your skills and your expertise and different things like that and get out of a situation, like a financial situation that you may necessarily might not want to be in right now. The other thing that we share in the book is a formula of how I constantly have leveled up throughout my lifetime. And I think that's very important because when you're thinking about moving from one version of yourself to the next version of yourself, you've got to realize that you got to do things a little bit differently. Like you're not going to be able to, you know, do some of the things you used to do before in this new version of you. And that's going to require a little bit of planning. And it's interesting because I think people don't really plan that part out. They just say, oh, I want to be, or, oh, I want to do, but they don't think about all the things that come along with the version of themselves that is the be and the do. Does that make sense? And there are versions, you know, there are things that you do as, I'm gonna be disrespectful, but as a loser, there are things you don't do and things that you do. And as someone who's showing up as dedicated and committed to whatever their dream and their goal is, there are things that they will always do that the loser version of them would never do. You know what I'm saying? And so you've got to figure out what that is. And I'm not saying, I mean, loser is the extreme. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to look at yourself in that way, right? But I'm saying the version of yourself that's not connected to who you genuinely are, striving to be, to show up as. And thank you so much. I appreciate that love. Okay. So that's what we're talking about in the book, the free book, Fck Being Broke. Okay. It's at unleashyourideas.com. You can get a copy of the ebook. And so I talk about the next V formula, which is the formula that I use to level up. Now, I didn't really realize that I had a formula name, or, I kind of came up with the name later, but I realized as I was like, every time I went through different, like when I started writing my story and I started to look back and see how I was able to get through different situations, it really became clear that I use the formula every time, right? Like every time I use the formula to level up. And my level up happened, it has always happened. So it's never been a situation where I said, I want to do this, or I want to be this, or I want to experience this, and it has not happened. I mean, some things maybe, but I feel like they're in the works, right? But most things I can go back on my list and I can check them off and say, okay, I was able to achieve them. How was I able to do that? What system, what formula did I use? And so in the guide, Fck Being Broke, I actually broke the system down step by step by step by step, exactly how I would do it every single time and how I still do it to this day. And I want to share that with you all because I think that's very important. I give away a lot of formulas in this guide. So it's really one of those, if you've ever bought any of my information, have gone to my academy, I'm always like over delivering. And so this is one of those books where it's not just like a feel-good book, but it's really a book about you sitting down. That's why it's a workbook that goes with the book, because you really want to sit down and like work through each and every chapter so that you can really start to understand your relationship with money and how you want to move throughout your level up process, because you should be evolving all the time, right? You should be consistently evolving. There's no reason for you ever to be in the same space for an extended period of time. Yes, you want to enjoy your successes when you get there. That's 100% true. But you can't stay there too long. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay there long. You have to consistently be leveling up and thinking about what your next level up is going to be, even if you're not ready to level up. Like you achieve your goal, you sit there for a little bit, and in the back of your mind, you should already be planning, okay, what's my next level up? What's my next move? Where am I going to, veer off to next? Because you're not meant to stay stagnant. And I think a lot of people get comfortable and they sit back, and that's where things get really, really dangerous, right? For you, not just for you, but for the people who are looking at you and depending on you and that are around you and that are watching you and different things like that. And that's important for their journey, because I feel like we're all here because we're connected in some sort of way. So like, I need to see you succeed, just like you need to see me succeed, just like we need to see, whoever else succeeds, so that we can know, okay, this if they can do it, I can do it, right? High five. Okay. So we talked about that in the guide. And then if we have a little bit of time left over, because, I like to like whiteboard and different things like that, we can actually go through some of like the formulas to, what you can do like with your AI business, right? So y'all know I'm doing a AI Bootcamp. It's coming up. I've been talking about it. You can finally go get your tickets. It only took me a whole week to like get everything together with that. But you can go and get your tickets if you want to join the Idea to AI SaaS Bootcamp. It's 3 days. And we're taking your idea. So that's just the formula of kind of going through your KEESKAs, understanding your knowledge, your abilities, what you know best, being able to take those things and pairing it with a market that has a problem. That's going to be your key formula. I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to be your key formula. And that's going to really be able to help you to define what type of AI product you want to build. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit. I got so many things. Y'all already know my brain is going in a million directions. So, for the last, since 20 whatever 13, I think, is when I started really going live on YouTube, and I'm really teaching staffing. I've been teaching start a staffing business, start a staffing business, start a staffing business. And I believe everybody should still start a staffing business. But I do believe the staffing is shifting, and especially for new people coming into this space, right? I believe that with AI and with robots and automation, the business model is going to shift drastically, but it's going to create a massive opportunity too. Okay, so that's one of the things. Y'all know I've been talking about it. The second thing that I believe with staffing is that we're going to see a really, like, you already know that Elon Musk and all of these people are talking about how jobs are going to go away. I don't believe all jobs are going to go away, but I do believe a lot of jobs are going to be automated. They're going to turn into, like, AI is going to take over that job. I feel like staffing agencies and people, just entrepreneurs, this is a great opportunity for them. It's a great opportunity for you because, one, you can't stop it from happening, but what you can do is join in and be a part of whatever the next wave is, right? Whatever the next creation is. And right now, your job, a job, is about to be automated. You can't stop that part. You can't stop that part. And so my thing is, why don't you do it? Why don't you be the one to do it? Why don't you be the one to figure out what that automation is? And because organizations are willing to pay for those automations. And that's ultimately how I feel like work is going to evolve. Now, people may not like that. I already know. But, you see videos everywhere and you talk to people on the street and they're saying things like, I got laid off and different things like that. But there are a group of people out there who, before they get a chance to get laid off, they have drove head first into AI and have figured out how to automate their role, how to manage the process for their role using AI. And when the time came, or when the time comes, they have an opportunity to show their employer, like, hey, actually, you need me in a totally different way. Right? You need me in a totally different way. You don't need to lay me off. I'm showing you how to do this. I'm showing you how to save money. I'm showing you right? Now you're able to take a different role and to be able to claim your stake within your organization. And, or if you're an entrepreneur, you're able to move out of your employee role altogether and resell the AI automation back to the employer. And I'm talking business to business sales right now. I know, but this is what you have as an opportunity, that I feel like, when you had your Salesforce and your Shopify and all of them at eBay, they all were just coming up. You're like, oh, I wish I would have been able to grab it and get in on that. Like, that's where we are right now. I mean, look at this. I put together this little chart, and it shows that the US labor market, as far as automation, is worth 10 trillion. That's what they're saying based on this MIT report that came out, right? That it's worth $10 trillion. That's way more than staffing. But I'm just saying, it's worth 10 trillion, okay? But only 0.3% of the market has been automated. So that leaves like 99.8% of the market that could be automated. And the thing is that larger companies are having a hard time automating everything. So that leaves an opportunity for you and I to go in and to create those automated platforms or automated solutions and sell them back to these organizations. And it doesn't even have to be super large organizations. I have another video that's going to come out a little bit. I've been working on the final PowerPoint slides where I'm really break down the opportunity in the different niche markets you can tap into with your AI automation. But today we're just going to talk about, how it really correlates with what you have going on right now, right? So this opportunity is there, 99.8%. That is a huge market opportunity for you to be able to tap into and make some side hustle money, or to replace your, or to make sure that you have an insurance policy for your day job, or to replace your day job, or to become a serious full-time, full-blown AI consultancy, helping small companies, mid-sized company, large companies, or having the newest version of staffing, where you place humans, you place AI automation, you place robots when you get the opportunity to do that. I don't know. What's your thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where you got to figure out where you want to be in this next wave. Where we know you don't want to be is where you are now, wherever that may be, because leveling up requires you to be in one phase starting out and then moving to the next phase. And that's what we're doing. We're moving to the next phase. And somebody sent me a message and they was like, D, how do I know if I'm leveling up? So we're day 40 or whatever. You leveling up when things aren't working, when things are falling apart. Sometimes, like in real life, sometimes that's when right? Because right before things start to come through, everything starts to go wrong. People go away, like everything starts to go, like you get sick, your family gets sick. It's something that's going to try to push you to see how serious you are about achieving this goal, what you're willing to sacrifice, what level of faith are you willing to have. And that's one of the hardest parts to get through. It's one of the hardest parts to get through, because you're like, of course I have faith. Of course I'm willing to go through this. And then something crazy happens, or some people crazy. Things just, I'm telling you, that's how it goes. And so it's like, you really have to go in and say, okay, yeah, I know all of this is going on, but I'm still going to commit to this. I'm still going to move forward with this. I'm still going to do this. Yes, I know this is happening, but I've got to make sure that I commit to this. And when you're able to show yourself and the universe that, yes, I am committed to my goal, to my dream, to my vision, come hell or high water, no matter what happens, then you start to see all the good things start to come to light. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Oh my goodness, this was working out on my behalf. Oh my goodness. And then, you can start feeling good, and then everything starts to come to life. So don't get frustrated if you're in a space where you're like, things don't look like they're changing, or, especially if you're feeling uncomfortable, because I've definitely been feeling uncomfortable lately, but I also know that when I'm moving to this next version of myself, I can't imagine that I'm just going to move in this next version of myself in such a comfortable way. Like, no, because that requires, again, a different version of me. So it's like, how am I showing up every day for myself? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself when you're leveling up. How am I showing up for myself today? When I get up in the morning, who am I showing myself to, me in the world? Like, all of those things. These are things that you really have to take seriously when you're in the space where you're like, I'm locked in, I'm leveling up, I'm locked in, and you've got that vision. So I do have a question. Do you have a vision? Have you locked your vision in of this next version of you? Do you know exactly what this next version of you brings to the table? And I'm not just talking about like physically, you know what I'm saying? Although that is important. But I mean, like, have you sat down and thought about, okay, I am leveling up. I am going through this 90-day lock-in with D. Williams. I am showing up. I am doing the things that I said that I was going to do all the time, half the time, a quarter of the time, whatever. You're still pushing towards this next version of self, creating new habits that complement the version of you that's showing up a certain type of way. For some of you, you're my clients, and that version of you is being a staffing expert, right? Running your own staffing business. Some of you, you're my client and it's a consulting agency. Some of you are my clients. You're going from recruiter to consulting, You're going from nurse to, full-blown staffing agency. Many of my clients are going from many different levels and many different layers. I'm not going to tell anybody's personal stories, but what does that next version of you look like? How does that next version of you show up? That's the question I want you to be asking yourself right now. And what does she do? Or he do? What does he do? How is he waking up in the morning? What does he say when he gets up in the morning? Does he do anything differently than today? Like, what does that look like? Who is he associating himself with? His friend circle, her friend circle, is it going to change? Right? Just different things you want to start thinking about. You might even just want to show up differently. When I get up, I'm not necessarily, like, I work from home most of the time. So me getting dressed up is not so important, but I get dressed up every day as if I am going to meet someone of importance. I'm going to wear my heels. I'm going to wear my dress. Okay. I'm definitely going to put my little light makeup on and brush my hair. And I'm going to show up as much as I possibly can, regardless of the fact that if I'm working from home or not. Why? Because I'm still going to show up for myself. I don't know. I might run out the door and I might run into my next, client, $1 billion client, whatever the case may be. But also, it's how I feel. Also, it's about the next version of myself. This is how she dresses. This is how she moves. This is how she's engaging with herself in the world and different things like that. You know how to do it. So, this level up, this 90-day lock-in and this level up is very important to, who the next version of you is attempting to be, not attempting doing. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get into some other things. I want to, y'all know I get, okay. So the last time we were together, we were having a good time going through, hold on, I'm going to share my screen. You already know. Hold on one second. I have so many. Did I lose it? I might have lost it, y'all. Oh, I think I lost it. My computer got shut down like right before we got on, because it did. I lost it. I lost our I lost our thing. I didn't save it. I don't think I did because I was working on something totally different. It's okay. See, things be happening sometimes, but that's okay. My computer shut down right before we got started, and I already know what happened. Yikes. 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 I'm gonna just double check. Okay, yeah. But at least it saved my real presentation. Like, that's like the blessing. Like, the blessing to save my real presentation. Okay. Whew. Well, there you have it. Let's go into the guide. Let's do that. I like it though. I like to put the pressure on me. Put the pressure on me. Hold on one second. Okay. Mm-hmm. I hope y'all doing good out there. My little chest cold. I hope everybody's doing amazing. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. I always, And give me 1 second. So, okay. I think this is it. So I want to show y'all this too, because I didn't get a chance to show y'all this the other day, and I think it'd be great to show it to you. And this is the workbook, because you haven't really gotten the opportunity to see all the work that I put into the workbook. And so you can see like what we go through. I think I'm definitely going to do a being broke workshop for sure, because like I just had too much fun creating the workbook. And so, okay, yes, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. So let me share my screen again. Okay, perfect. Entire screen. There we go. Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay, great. So first things first, let's go here. Okay, so first things first, y'all know that we have the ebook, and you can just go to let me pull the page up so you can see. Here you go. Unleash your ideas. So I'm gonna just pull them. No, let me do this like this. Okay. So you're going to go to unleashyourideas.com. I'll put the link in the chat, right? But unleashyourideas.com/Fck Being Broke. And just put your first name and email in, and you'll get access to the guide. You'll be able to go in and download the actual book. And the actual book is not just a book. It is like literally I put a lot of work in there for you. You already know how my brain moves, and you're going to go through a whole process. So like, and there's exercises that you can do that's already in the book. Like you don't have to get the workbook if you don't want, but there are exercises that are like already in there. And so let me just make sure that I have you. Let me. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't lose you. Okay, perfect. So so you can go through, you can actually go through the book, and I actually, I share my story with you so that you can get an idea of the level up formula, the one that we're going through the 90-day lock-in. And then also you can go through and learn basically how to utilize that formula to level up. And then I show you how to use your KEESKAs. And your KEESKAs are very important, because once you understand how you utilize them, then you can take those and make money with them, like out of thin air sometimes, depending on what your energy level is. I know that sounds like rah rah, but it's true. So yeah, so you can go through the book, and then I show you how to use the XB formula to go with the KEESKAs, and then you can go in and choose your empire lane, and then you can figure out how to monetize yourself, right? Or monetize what you know. And you can monetize yourself in a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to be just like coaching, although it could be coaching. It doesn't have to be consulting. It doesn't have, it could be a lot of different things. Right now, I feel like people should monetize themselves using AI in some type of way. And I feel like that's the smartest thing that anybody should be doing, and everybody should be doing right now. If you are in a day job or you have a job per se, you should be trying to automate what you know. And you can use your KEESKAs. And if you have a business, you should be looking to automate your business and then sell that business model to your competitors, or people who are similar to you, right? Similar business models to you or to your client base. You might want to just sell, an AI, product to your client base, but whatever that is, you want to be developing that right now. And the market is still early and it's still fresh. You don't need to wait until the market collapses, or or the job markets collapse. You don't have to wait until then. You don't have to wait. You can do all of those things now and get your start getting your feet wet and start generating revenue now, and take a nice portion of the market share, so that when things do pop off, you're straight, right? You don't have to worry about. And I have some really great products. I'm going to show you some of the products that I've built But I have some really great products. So yes, in chapter 11, you learn how to monetize yourself. And there's like a full process to go through there to monetize you. And there are formulas and everything to take you through that process. And then I give you an exact step-by-step, okay, now this is what you do next, like to actually bring things to life. And so when you go and you get the book, right, you have the option to get the workbook. And so I just want to show you like what some of the things are in the workbook too, so you can get an idea. The workbook has been really cool because you can actually write inside the book, right? If you download it, you would have to print it, but you can actually, there are prompts that you can go into. So while you're reading the book, it's great that you get to understand my thought process and how I did things. But I also want to be able to show you, how you can take those same concepts and relate them to your life and your experiences and so forth, and walk through the process. In the beginning part of the book, it's more about you not being sold into the idea of being broke, if you have that type of mentality. And again, being broke doesn't always have to do with you financially. It could be the way you just think of yourself, right? And so we like really go through that. And there are a number of exercises, almost 100 exercises in this book. If you want to go through them, you don't have to go through all of them. But there are, like we talk in chapter 2, the many faces of broke, right? Understanding your patterns. Being broke isn't just about what's in your bank account. It shows up in how you think, how you feel, how you tolerate, what you believe you deserve, right? This exercise is going to help you identify all the ways broke has infiltrated your life, so you can start dismantling it piece by piece. And then remember, money is not your worth. And so we have these instructions where you go in and you start looking at some of the patterns that you may have experienced over time. And so a pattern can be, I'm in a low wage job with no growth or benefits, or a pattern might be working full time and still coming up short financially, or short in whatever way in your life. You're laid off without savings or backup plan. You're working beneath your skills, juggling part-time gigs. Your pay has stayed the same while everything gets more expensive. You never taught how to manage, multiply, or protect your money. You might be drowning in credit cards, student loans, or payday traps, right? Or, no unemployment or insurance or support, if life takes a turn. So these are things that you might be feeling. And you can go in and you can rate it 1 to 5. Like, this is the intensity of what I'm feeling. You're going to calculate all of these together so that you can get an idea of where you are. And we opened up some extra spots for you to be able to go in and add things that might not be there related to you. You might have something specific to your journey that you want to include in that space. You can go in and include that in that space. And then you do the same thing for, category 3. And then you start to do an analysis of your patterns, right? And start creating your action plans so that you can move yourself forward from point A to point B. Okay. And that's literally how the workbook works. And so that's why I was like, when I'm ready to, I'm really excited about doing a live workshop for this as well, because we'll be able to sit down and group discussions and different things like that, and really be able to pull the layers back, have some serious conversations about, where you are, what you're feeling, and how to release those things so that you can move forward with your level up. So I think that's going to be very exciting. I'll just do a couple more sneak peeks here. Chapter 3, when you want to give up. And I just want to tell you that when you download the free e-guide, you'll get the first 3 chapters exercises to get you started, just to get you started. That automatically comes with that. So you can automatically work through those. But it's when you start getting into some of the later chapters and getting that workbook where you start to really see how you can transform and really lay out your thoughts around what you do and how you're going to go in and build, build your next steps out. And it's really cool because in the free guide, it has all of these things, and you can definitely have support. We're actually publishing a version that is on Amazon, and in that version, it'll come with 3 bonus chapters. And those bonus chapters are really cool because the first one is if you're starting with 0, which you can still see it in the book, it's just structured a little bit differently. But if you're starting with 0, this is how you level up. It's gonna be really cool. So I'm ready for that to happen. That's ready. So I'm hoping that it goes live in the next couple of days. But this one is one you can get now, right? And it has everything in there as well. So I definitely want you to check it out and support in both ways. Okay. So I talked about the book. We talked about okay. So one of the things that we did in the not in the workshop. Just like, hold on one second. Okay, perfect. When I get over here, yes, that's where we were last week when we came in. We were talking about the next V formula and how you can go in and use the next V formula to level up, right? We talked about the formula being one, you have to make the choice. And I'm going to make it bigger just so you can see right here how the formula works. So it's just a quick 7-up system. You have to make the choice. I'm no longer comfortable where I am. I choose to level up, whatever that level up may be. That's your overarching statement. But beyond your overarching statement, you want to declare whatever it is that you desire. So and the example I've been using recently for me, is my real estate. I'm in real estate school. I know that the next version of me, she is a licensed real estate agent, right? So that's what I made the choice that's what's going to happen. The second step, number 2, is the vision. Okay, so who am I tomorrow? What's my desire? How do I see myself tomorrow? You have to have a vision. You can't just say, this is what I'm going to do, but not be able to visually see it. And when I say visually see it, I mean you have to be able to see it with your eyes open and with your eyes closed. Like you have to be able to visually see it with your eyes open and with your eyes closed. Like your eyes have to be closed and you can run simulations through your mind visually of this next version of you. It may not be as detailed as you want. It might not even be in color either, but you got to run through that simulation. But when your eyes are open, you should be able to project the same thing and see it. That is very, very important. It's the same way. And the best way for me to describe it is when you have to go to the restroom. When you have to go to the restroom, you say it. You might not say it out loud, but you say it in your head or out loud. And then you actually visually see yourself going to the restroom. Most of you do. Most people do. Whether you realize it or not. And then you go and you enact the thing that you visualized in your head. And that's essentially what you're setting things up for. You have to set that up. You have to set that up for your dreams and your goals and your wants and your desires in the same exact way. You have to set that up. And you have to kind of hold that vision, even when things look crazy, like it's not coming to pass, it's not working, it's not real, it's not true, everything's falling apart. You got to hold to that vision, like who you are, who you believe you will be, or what you believe you deserve, or that you're going to get, or what you want, or whatever it is that your goal was. You know what I'm saying? You have to hold to that vision. Okay. Then your leverage. You have to, no matter what, you got to figure out like what you have at your disposal, like what you can work with, what resources, what people, what skills, what tools do you have to work with that'll actually help you get to your goal, because you're going to need to create a plan. But you can't really create a plan unless you know what you already got access to. So you're going to do that. That's going to be imperative. Okay. And then once you realize, okay, these are the people I have access to, these are the people that are on my team, these are the people that are not on my team, that might take some time, because if you think like your family or your man or whoever is supposed to be on your team, sometimes you find out they're not. And then you're like, okay. And so you might have to switch that preliminary plan that you thought you had in your head, around. That's why it's important for you to understand what leverage you have access to before you start your plan. Okay. Then you have your weapons. That's your number 4 step, your weapons. That's what do I need to learn to get there? It's like you can't level up, you can't do any of those things unless you learn something. You got to gain information in order to be able to know where you're going to disseminate or how you're going to disseminate the information. And so you've got to that's what I call learning a weapon. I call it, because you get smarter, you get to add more things to your arsenal. So, what skills do I need to learn? Then number 5 is you got to create the plan, because now you know what you got access to. You got a vision, you got a goal, you got, your weapons. Excuse me. Now you got to create your plan. A preliminary plan. It's not the full plan. It's not the final plan. It's not the real plan per se. It is kind of real, but it's more of a preliminary plan. Is what I think I can get done right now based on the tools, the resources, the people, whatever I have, and what I know. But I know over time that more things are going to happen, and I'm going to add more weapons, more leverage. My vision is going to expand a little bit more based on the things that I learn and I experience. And my plan will turn, and my plan will evolve. But as of now, this is what my plan is going to be. That's your mindset. But you got to stick to that plan, that preliminary plan you have, and you start sticking to it by actually implementing action steps. Oh my gosh. Actually implementing action steps. Things that you're literally going to do. Like if the world is on fire, you still going to do these things no matter what. I mean, that's how serious you got to be about these action steps. And so it's like, what do I need to do to get there? What steps do I need to take specifically to get there? And you're going to take those steps. You're literally every day or every week or every month or whatever the case may be, you're going to do those steps, and you're going to do them no matter what. And when you don't do them, you're not going to beat yourself up for not doing them. You're just going to go and do them. Okay. Like, oh, you didn't do it yesterday. We'll do it today. You didn't do it an hour ago. We'll do it now. Okay. So that's how you're going to do. You're not going to be, oh, I didn't do it yesterday, I have to start all over again. No, it don't work that way. Just do it. Okay. And just keep doing it until it doesn't become brutal to not have to do it anymore. It just becomes natural. And you're just like, okay, I'm ready. I can do this. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get used to change. You're trying to level up. You're moving. You're evolving into this next version of you. Creating new habits are not easy. You're not going to always get it right day one, time one. It's not going to always come into place immediately, but over time, if you stay dedicated to your dream, to your goal, you say, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm going to move towards this. I'm going to make this my priority. I want this dream. I want this goal, or whatever the case may be. You'll start, your habits will start changing. You'll start to evolve. You'll start to see that next version of yourself, and you'll start to level up. You'll start to find your place. In the beginning, it's going to be awkward. You're going to be awkward. I'm awkward. You know what I'm saying? But it'll get easier. It'll get better. It'll get normal. And the next thing you know, it'll be second nature. And you're like, okay, that wasn't so bad. I made it. Okay. Once you do your action steps, you just got to execute. You just got to do. Okay. Excuse me. You got to do. You have to actually do. A lot of people will plan things and read about things and talk about things, but never actually do things. You got to show up, and you actually got to do. And I believe that you absolutely can achieve whatever goal it is that you want to achieve. That's the next B formula. And it's not easy, and it's easy, but it's not easy. And I got to also tell you that, sometimes in order to see the outcome, it's like not going to happen immediately. And when I give you the example of the one that I use in the guide in the book, was getting my son back. So like, yeah, I had this formula and I was taking the steps, but it took me like 4 years to get him back. I didn't get him back immediately. it didn't happen day one. It took me like 4 years, maybe even 5 years. Like, it took time. Like, I had to work through that. Like, and a lot of obstacles, a lot of crazy things happened on that journey along the way. A lot of people lying to me, a lot of like, oh my gosh, a lot of deceit, deceptiveness. There was a lot of things that happened along that journey that that looking back now, I'm like, wow. So it doesn't happen overnight, but I kept sticking with the process. I stayed with the vision. The vision never left my brain. I knew exactly what I wanted, what my goal was. I was married to it. No matter what happened, no matter who came along, no matter who said what, I had one goal in mind, and nothing was going to change that. And whatever was going on around me, it had to correlate with what that goal was. That was the energy that I brought to the table, and that's the energy you got to bring to the table when you're made the decision that I am going to build a business, or I am going to move into this next version of myself. I'm going to get this car. I'm going to get the promotion. I'm going to connect back with my friend, or whatever it is. I'm going to find my passion and my purpose, whatever it is. I don't know what it is for you. But whatever your goal is, right, you've got to have unmatched dedication and passion to making sure you achieve that goal. And like, by any means necessary, ethically, like for real. And, when you really, really, really start to dive into your passion like that, everybody around you, everything around you will start to connect with you. It will start to connect with your vision. It'll start to connect with your goal, and you'll be able to see things a lot clearer. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting closer. Oh my gosh, it's happening. And walking into the next version of yourself. That's what you're looking for. So the next V formula is very important. That's what you see on the screen is very important. And you can definitely go. And I want you to go and download the guide. If you haven't, if you're thinking about it, it's free. You don't have to pay anything, right now. You just literally, I'm going to put the link in the chat again, right there. I would just go in and sit down and sit with it, read it, and give yourself an opportunity to connect with that next version of you. This 90-day lock-in has been really cool for me, because this is showing me things like, it's made me vulnerable, like out in public. You know what I'm saying? And that's not easy to experience. But it is also reminded me that, I still have things that I want to work on. And it's been really cool to be able to level up with you all and go on this 90-day journey with you all. So I really appreciate y'all. I'm coming back tomorrow. Mañana. I'm coming back tomorrow. And we're going to dive in a little bit more. I have a very special presentation that I'm doing tomorrow that I've been working on, and I'm just about done, like 99%. So I want to show y'all, kind of similar to how I did when I started the staffing agency, and I showed you the process and how everything works. I'm going to do the same thing. So I want you to look out for that video and to come on in, ask questions, bring your pen and paper, different things like that. I want you to think about coming to the boot camp, the 3-day boot camp. We want to go ahead and build your AI software, take your idea and put it into some type of AI software. And, want that to happen, and and get your workbook, all of those great things, so that you can, help level up and get to the next version of yourself. So I really appreciate you being here with me today. And I'm going to be back tomorrow. So let's have a great night, and make sure that you go to start.unleashyourideas.com. Join the 90-day lock-in challenge. Make sure you log in your 90 days. Log in your check-in every day. And I will see you tomorrow. Love y'all.
Unleash your ideas. Don't hold them back. Turn that spark into your next bold act. Unleash your ideas. Make the world see. You're the blueprint, you're the key.
Unleash your ideas, no time to wait. Build your dream, don't let it escape. From the vision to the code, from the thought to the sale. You got the fire, now set your trail. Cause empires rise where ideas ignite. This is your moment, this is your light.
Unleash your ideas, no time to wait. Build your dream, don't let it escape. From the vision to the code, from the thought to the sale. You got the fire, now set your trail. Cause empires rise where ideas ignite. This is your moment, this is your light. This is your light.
This is your moment, this is your light.